people that we work with, and we'll take a few minutes to reflect on this. Sit with your colleagues. Organizations, is everyone settled? There's a group here without enough seats. So, before we go to this question, I have a short video that I wanted us to watch. And then after that, we'll go into this question, and then I have one other question, and we will wrap up in a very short while. So, wait, hold up. I used to work for this particular organization, so this video has a lot of my DNA in it. But I think it's really inspirational in terms of us thinking about girls and the things we think they can and should be doing, and how we can sometimes shift our own ways of being with them for them to thrive in the things that we are working on. Sawa.
And also, girls find ways around and over and through and under. They run, they build, they birth. They thrive and they survive. And most days, they can be found hidden in corners and out in plain sight, whispering with another girl, strategizing with other girls, sustaining because of another girl. And in every place, they have been supported by women, old and young alike. Women who hold and heal and raise up a new generation of girls. To be a girl is to live at the apex of power and vulnerability. Yet, formalized girls' work is fraught with tension. It's bound up with binary understandings of gender, age, and agency, with ideologies that either see girls as powerless, victims in need of protection to be saved by formal culture and state systems and structures, or powerful girl leaders and individual heroes whose exceptional grit enables them to prosper as they do so to lift up entire communities out of poverty. These stories erase the truth of what it means to be a girl. They erase a right to be held, to play, to learn, as well as to lead. Every day, girls are succeeding in making the best of their circumstances, making complex decisions and strategies against a dehumanizing palette of options. This is not the powerless in need of protection or the romance of girl leaders. This is the resistance that girls everywhere have developed to survive the everyday. This is the truth of what it means to be a girl. It's time to reframe the question. Instead of asking, are girls powerful or powerless? We should be asking, how can we build power with and for girls? Power is protective. Power is itself the greatest protector against forces of domination and exploitation. Building girls' power is political work. It's resistance work. It means prioritizing solidarity and collective power. It means resourcing girls in bold, expansive, and power-shifting ways. It means building funding ecosystems where girls can access the resources they need to define their own roadmaps to liberation. And always, it means centering in girls' own organic and connected forms of resistance. Building girls' power means reimagining the way we program, listen, and learn. Let us work towards a world where girls can live in safety, dignity, and freedom.
This is it. So, with this background and all these words we've been picking about our work from the time we've been here, even before we came here, because I think it's Joyce who was using this phrase yesterday. None of us here came with nothing to offer. Our organizations are full of innovation. We are the people innovating and working. So when we think about, what is the question that we had earlier? Sorry. When we think about how we use our power in the partnership and the programming, that's what I want us to discuss as teams, as people who are going back to continue the work that we have already been doing. But then we are learning and unlearning a few things here that will continue to inform how we do our work. So I'll give us 10 minutes to discuss, and as we discuss, one of the things I want us to answer is what is one thing we will incorporate from this conversation, from this particular question? What is the one thing we will incorporate in our leadership journey as a team? What is one thing? It doesn't have to be two, just one thing. What is the one thing we are agreeing that we will incorporate to center girls and to also just tie around the conversation we had yesterday on all those gender conversation and the power? I think there was a lot coming out of that, yeah? So what's one thing we can
shows that at least there are some categories of people that will ride as a prompt.
I think she's right because a lot of people they don't see beyond just girls not going to school or girls dropping out of school because there are so many things around girls that hinder them from completing their education, not just starting but also completing their education. One critical thing is what we are doing with the teachers, the gender responsive pedagogy. Yes, I have got the confidence to come to class, but do I have the confidence to sit in that class until I finish primary? Because of the language that the teacher is using, because of how the other children are labeling me, because of whatever is supposed to happen to me in class, and I don't find support. So it is our responsibility to use the power that we have to bring out some of those things, hidden things that people don't see.
So maybe also respond to your
So we are only talking on education. Let's also have the examples.
So I'm also looking at this question as we talk about that. How do we use our power in partnership and in programming for girls? I think other ways could be, because how do we use, we already have the power, but how do we use it? Maybe it's also creating a platform where girls are able to speak. So when we are having reception or we're having monitoring or supervision visits, we bring girls on board and then they're able to do the same as we're doing, and then the discussion can happen. I don't know how that is other
I think you're so right about that.
In fact, that was the first thing I've written about cooperation solutions.
Yes.
So can that be engaging stakeholders?
Actually, in the partnership, I have seen empirically the CBOs, the girls themselves, then the ladies. So for the girls, we should engage them to cooperate with them the solution. The intervention that we have done with them. Then for the leaders, how we use our power that we have to ensure that the leaders are involved. But of course now the ultimate intention is to involve them. Involving the leaders and also involving the girls in order to cooperate together with them the solution. But the partners, we should be able to expose partners like this to different opportunities that we have. One of them is training, especially on the Girl Empowerment Initiative. So that was CPOs that we are partnering with them. They are able to push on with the agenda. Is a capacity building. Yeah, capacity building opportunity for the CPOs that we are partnering with them.
Actually, you reminded me on what we have in the program that we need to work with this and create some tools for partners that can help track issues
2 minutes. Okay.
like using tools like partners so that they can be able to start realizing and incorporating their program.
The 2 minutes we may need to proceed.
They can be now
There are the
discuss
two
them.
questions. This is serious.
What is one thing we will incorporate in our leadership drive
As far as this is concerned.
as far as this is concerned?
I think I would buy the idea that you and Patrick came up with of involving the girls in our spaces of programming, just to make sure that their voices are heard. Because there have always been those silent stakeholders that we just do things for them. Maybe what we can do going forward is to make sure that they step in and give us an idea of what they think help looks like for them. and us imposing our help on them.
It is very good thought, is one of the suggestions. The other suggestion I would also bring as one of the things, since we are working with other community-based organizations, is it possible for us to convene among ourselves something like this and go through with them, just to let them understand the issues emerging around leadership, but also leadership of the girls.
We can have a learning.
Sorry to interrupt. Please write your one thing for celebration here, then we put it on the wall, yeah?
Do we need to write, we just write one thing without the identification of that is coming from?
I think write your
Organization.
so we know, yeah? But also you will know it's your thing when we see it, eh? Yeah.
When you were saying that, what came to my mind was the learning, is it learning partner, peer learning? There's a word about peer learning, community of practice.
Okay.
Having a community of practice within the CBOs that we work with.
You're good. And because we the leaders here, because it will be tracked. So it is something that we will collectively do it as we do the practice in our leadership journey. With
Creating a community of practice within the CBOs that we
no, one thing we can write it is because
maybe you get another color. Creating a community of practice within. Sorry?
creating a community of
Sorry?
practice within
No.
CBOs involved.
We can call them partners within the partners that we work with.
So you were saying. So that's how we are going to try, because it's about the leadership journey. Celebration summit, we should be able to demonstrate how that so creating that community of practice, it means that when we go back, we shall have a plan where we shall be able to interact with other leaders of the partners, and then onto specific areas on the issue of
Gender programming.
gender programming. So after that, we shall be hearing feedback coming from them, and then what are the transformation happening in that communication, in that practice, in that community of practice. Then it's what we shall be celebrating. Is it better? Because
if we can get them to revise their policies, if we can get them to start bringing also girls in their spaces to make decisions, it would be something worth celebrating.
yeah.
So how does a community of this is the last one. What change do we want to see at the celebration when this is the change? So the language changes. A community of practice.
There are two things there.
There are two things. This is the first one.
All right, I'm assuming we are all done. So if you're done, I'm going to move around the tables for us to share our one thing. It could be a very simple thing. It could be a moonshot. But the idea is sometimes not sometimes, I feel like mostly when we write stuff down, we are likely to get it done. I was telling Christine from when she used to be my coach, one of them, we did a leadership program with Christine and Sarah many years ago. But when we did it, we all got an A4 piece of paper to write things we wanted to accomplish in the next year. And I wrote, actually I saw this thing this week again. I wrote that I wanted to have raised enough money to start buying an office. Yeah, and then I wrote, I wanted to start a fashion line. And I forgot, because we put these things in an envelope and moved on. But when we met the following year, we actually were just about to sign off buying an office for the organization I worked for. So some of these dreams sometimes can feel so big and so outside of ourselves. And even when we write it down, we may even forget. But later on, when you come back and look, you can definitely see that somehow your brain recorded that, and you've been working and walking towards that path that you set out for yourself. Yes.
Yes. So in our group, what we discussed first on the one thing we are going to incorporate in our leadership journey is that despite the fact that we have been co-creating our programs with girls, we are going to start incorporating we are going to start implementing the ideas, the needs that they have identified, and give the specific needs priorities in our programming, so as to bring about the importance of the needs. And at the end of the celebration summit, what we really want to see as Amani is the success of girls' dreams as a result of our collaborative programming with them. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Team Amani. Makofi. Hiya, let's move here.
Okay, so for us, 10-med team, Tanzania. So this is 10-med team. What is one thing we will incorporate in our leadership journey is to continue centering girls' voices. We have been centering the girls' voices and building their agencies so that they can be change of community, agents of changes in their respective community, but we still feel that we can do more, have more consultation meetings, because as 10-med we are sitting in high-level education sector dialogue meetings, and we still believe that there is a room where we can continue to incorporate more girls' voices, so when we go there to speak, we are speaking on the issues that really girls want to voice out. And what change do we want to see by the celebration of the summit? As an organization, I've been doing a lot of gender issues, but we do not have a gender policy. So we want, by the celebration this year, I think around October, yesterday was mentioned, to have an organizational gender policy, where is now also going to continue guiding us on how are we going to promote issues concerning gender equity, but also inclusion, so that we can get to ensure that we walk the talk of our objectives, missions, and visions. Thank you.
Hiya, Makofi. Thank you so much. Let's move here.
Okay, so for us, what we discussed, we were moved away with the quotes that was our statement. We are not just an NGO workers, but we are connected to change. So one thing we're moving out is, as leaders, connected to change and be part of the community. First, by leaders get to be touched on the ground, not only those implementers, but if it's finance, if it's HR, do they know what is going on the ground? So we inspire and we are role models. So when the team reaches down, even the community becomes inspired. But also incorporating the voices of the girls in the process of redesigning our programs. When we are redesigning our programs, not just incorporating the employees as stakeholders' voices, but also what are girls in the communities needing. Those are our customers that we want to serve. Yeah.
Thank you. So Team Greek, on the question of what is the one thing that we will incorporate in our leadership journey, is listening to the girls. like we felt that most decisions, we just make the decisions. A simple thing like, what will the girls eat at a training session? Like we just assume that it's just food and we decide. So simple things, like just listening to the girls. What do they want? How do they want things done? So yeah. And then maybe we added when girls talk, you listen. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Team Greek. Makofi.
Thank you very much. So in our organization, we have a series of educational materials or an overall educational program that we have observed for many years to have had deep and meaningful impacts in the lives of women and girls. And so we've become comfortable trusting that things will naturally come out of the process of the educational process. But what we've been wanting to do for some time, and we had set as a goal for this year, so we're happy to have more incentive and a deadline to finish, is to actually do an evaluation of many of these outcomes that result from the study of these materials and the program, and try to create a clear strategy and set of priorities so that when we are training and working with our teams, they're more thoughtful and intentional about the types of outcomes that we'd like to see, instead of just becoming reliant on the fact that the results will come on their own.
So the one thing we would like to incorporate in our leadership journey is to create a community of practice within partners or stakeholders we work with. And then the one change we want to come and celebrate is a co-created contextualized solutions with implementing partners on girls programming. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Makofi. Hi, Shirley. Makofi. All right, so we're going to take our pieces of paper and just stick them over here so we can take a photo and we can have a record which we are going to pull up at our celebration summit when we meet again in a few months. So please put your paper over here, and there's masking tape. We can do that as we go out for lunch. Or over there, where the flip charts are. Yeah, so thank you. This brings us to the end of our session. Just the conclusion of what we started yesterday, and we definitely look forward to seeing all the things that are going to come out of the work that we are already doing, right? Some of it needs tightening, some of it just a rejuvenation, but we are the people doing the work, and we will continue to do it well. So thank you so much for your time. And Christine, are we going for lunch now?
Yes, we're going for lunch now, at 1:30.
Okay.